everyone, XylaTakura here. I hope you're all okay and well. And today we are back with more Her Story. Now I noticed I didn't add it to my schedule. I apologise for that. I forgot. I have a brain like a sieve, I'm afraid. So let's just get back into this game. From what I can remember. Holy moly. Okay, so last time we played this game, which was on Friday, I believe, we spent 2 hours going through footage of interview clips to do with a murder case for the murder of a guy called Simon, who is related to, from what I believe so far, 2 people, Hannah and Eve. Hannah is the one he's actually been going out with or was married to, you know, fiance or whatever, and Eve is kind of the mystery girl because Hannah and Eve, if we found out, are identical twins that were separated at birth. So it's kind of an odd situation that's currently happening. But without further ado, let's get back into this game. I need to grab my phone because I left a few notes on there from last time that I was working on, that I was going through. What else did I need to check? So, I went through the clips to do with like bruises and stuff, and we noticed that I believe Eve is the one that mentioned this story, was that as they were growing up, if anything bad happened to one of them, the other one had to have exactly the same thing. So I think it was Hannah that we saw first. The detectives, I assume, asked her if she had an issue with her. She had like a bruise on her eye, and they said, "Oh, what? You know?" I imagine they asked her, "What was that about?" And she was like, "Oh, it was to do with." She'd walked into the corner of the cupboard that she'd opened or something silly, and that's how she ended up with a black eye. But then obviously we come across, I'm assuming Eve, because she has it on the opposite eye, but I don't know whether we've actually come across the fact that it's been mentioned or not yet. But anyway, enough whinging and rambling and stuff. Let's try and see if we can find some more information. So the notes that I had from the other day, this was one that I picked up that I didn't check. Have I got anything under this one? Oh, I have one new clip I can check. Let's watch this then. This is one of the latest days I've found so far. So let's have a look.
I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
So, did Hannah originally go out with Simon and then they had a breakup and then Simon went out with Eve? I don't know. I'm assuming it's Eve. It's hard to differentiate the two, but what else did I put down? Because I only got one from that. Inherited? No, nothing for inherited. start kind of going off the rails a little bit now, seeing if I can pick up any other stuff, because there's a lot to do with Simon. There's 64 entries with Simon, but I need to try and simplify it a bit more somehow. Oh, there's a couple more with Simon and Baby. So this is the 23rd of the 6th, so this is the earlier-ish months.
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
Is this? I think this one is Hannah, and the one in the flowery top is Eve. I think that's how it works. So this would be Hannah talking about moving in with Simon's parents. Okay. So I'm still trying to figure out who this is, whether this is Eve or this is Hannah. When's this? This is 2 days later.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Right, so that's different from another account where I think she was wearing the same outfit. That either, I think it might have been Eve had come in, said she'd come into the lounge and she found him on the floor in the lounge and his throat had been cut. So is this Hannah coming back later to find the body? It's hard to tell who's who, because obviously, you know, you don't get to hear the detectives in charge of the investigation kind of, you know, asking the questions that would make it easy to find out who it is. But I'm just going to have to take the assumption that this is Hannah for now. Oh God. Okay, and this should be Eve. I don't know. At the moment, I'm assuming it's Eve.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
Okay. So we just need to figure out... No, just that one's called Sarah. see how we're doing on the footage. It's probably going to depress me when I open it. Yeah, look at all of the red footage that I don't have. Oh, that's depressing. Alright, let's put that down here for now, and then we'll leave this here in the middle. Dead. No, that's just when she talks about finding him dead. God, there's just so much footage, and I'm not quite sure how, because I can only choose 5 different clips to store under the session. But the thing is, how do I kind of like submit those ones? Or are they specific ones I have to find, and then when they're put into the clips under session, then that's it, game over. It like knows. It's just, oh, I don't know. Joe! Hi Joe, welcome back. I'm so glad you came back. How's the hunt going? I've only been in about 12 minutes and I'm already struggling. The only other new thing that I've come across is that I've found a clip of either Eve or Hannah, but I'm thinking it's Hannah, saying she went down into the basement and she found Simon's body in a bag, I'm assuming. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'm just trying to go through different other keywords I can put with Simon's name to try and see if I can uncover some more stuff. It's not that important to finish. Okay. I was just thinking that, because obviously you can only store 5 on the top, you can only put 5 in the bottom, but it's kind of just, how am I going to know when I've found out the truth? Because it does, the game doesn't really give you like a, you know, this is how you found out the truth, or do I just have to find a certain clip that kind of has them confessing? Did I try Simon Affair? Yes, I did. God, it's really hard to find new stuff. Yeah, there's far too much red. Far too much red. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to actually ever fill the whole thing, but I think that's going to be a case of me looking off screen for the clues, if there's even much point in doing it after all this. Gosh. 64 entries. It's just mind-boggling. No, of course it would. Of course it would be that simple. I'm trying anything now. Oh my god, okay. This is good. This is a good start. There's 4. And she's got a guitar in 1. Okay. This one is the 18th of June. So this is a new one. A new-ish, or not new-ish one. Like the start of it. Where she comes in to try and say that he's missing, I think. So.
Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much.
Oh, it's just her leaving. Okay. She leaves. And this is is a few days later. I think this is still Hannah. I'm trying to figure. I think Hannah's in the blue top, and then Eve's in the flower top. I'm not quite sure. It's really hard to figure that out.
No. I mean, he was... Everyone loves Simon. He was so nice to everyone. He loves me.
I can not spell still. Days have passed and I still can't spell. Okay, this one is the 1st of June. Okay.
Cute. You must love them very much. What ages are they?
Oh. Asking about the detectives kits? Right, this one's 2 minutes 36 seconds, okay. Okay. I think it's time for a song, guys.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay? Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay.
I'm gonna sit back.
How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swans. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
I mean, the fact that it sounds quite bloody similar to what's actually happened. The song doesn't have anything to do with what actually happens, does it? Because, I mean, that would make a lot of sense as well. Just to add to more conspiracies. And the actress is actually a musician, not an actress. Well, why not? Might as well have, you know. I mean, if you're going to have someone sing a song on there, you want them to at least know how to play guitar and sing really well without sounding like a dying cat, I suppose. So... Yes, I know, Joe, with your winky emoji face. I know, and you don't, winky face. It's just... I still think there's just too many things it could be. It could be that Eve has killed Hannah and she's pretending to be Hannah, and that's how she's able to get away with everything. But then the fact that she still keeps talking about Hannah, even right at the very end, it's just, oh my god. Hey, Matt, no Googling. Yeah, she does a good job of acting as well. I think she does a good job of acting. I mean, I can try searching blonde hair in the search bar, but it might just bring up the song again. Ooh! Oh, Matt! Good idea. I got 2 more to watch. This one is the 30th of June, and I'm assuming that this is Eve. Assuming.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Oh yeah, because she was thinking she was going out with... He was having an affair with someone called Helen. I remember putting that name down actually in my list. I'll have to see if it comes up with anything in the search. Right, she's back on her guitar again, guys. Time for another song.
Really? Okay. Here's the rest.
Oh, she's going to sing the rest of it.
Laid a body on the doctor, oh, wind and the rain, till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by, on the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone, oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
I think it freaking should be. Try Helen. No, Helen was only mentioned twice and I've already got this. Simon and Helen. Simon out? Okay. Because I'm thinking obviously if he's gone out to see this Helen, then there's got to be points where she's just like he's gone out. So we've got another 3 clips, so let's watch these. This is the 25th of the 6th.
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me.
Oh, okay.
We had our first date at the Odeon in North End. We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid He bought me a Whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth.
First date with Salmon. I'm assuming this is Hannah. So, assuming that's Hannah, this should be Eve.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly in the living room. Nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
She's just got more of an attitude to her in these clips than she has in the other one. She seems kind of more like, please, please help. Whereas in this one, she's just like, not enough proof for you. So I'm assuming it's a different person with regards to how they're acting. But that could just be an act being put on anyway. But I really can't spell today. Yeah, thanks, Matt. It's too late now. I've wrote something else. Okay, what's this one? This is the 1st of June. Okay, I haven't seen her in the shirt for a while, so this is a day that I haven't got a lot of footage for so far, I don't think.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house, I knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room, nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom, he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
She didn't... Just because you guys have just seen it as well. She didn't say she rang Doug and Eleanor. She just said that she rang his parents. But in the other one, I'm pretty sure she just said she rang Doug and Eleanor. So this is slightly different to what we've just heard. Here's another theory. Is it possible that the girls were working together to murder him and they're trying to cover each other's asses? I'm literally just kind of just throwing out ideas here. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what to do, to be honest. There's always inconsistencies with twins. How am I doing now? Give it a refresh. Look, I got a couple more filled in now. Yeah. Okay. What do I put with Simon's name now? Simon work? Oh, okay, we've got another clip here. Is this before she starts singing? Or after?
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. They get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Oh, there's another one, thanks to Mr. Eric. What's this one? 30th of the 6th with, I'm assuming, Eve again?
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
I was being attacked by a moth there. If, in case anyone was wondering what the hell I was doing there, or I was trying to swat something, there was a moth flying around the computer. So she's talking about going to the pub and then sorting out food, I guess. Not really anything majorly important. Simon to the pub. Cooks meals. That's about what I got from that, apart from the fact I was too busy trying to swat moths. Simon drinking. No, I've already put that one down. Simon at the pub. No. Okay. Running on no steam again. Simon never around? I don't know. No, that's far too much. I think I've gone through all the things I put down in my list, actually. Yeah. Everything I've put down has already been sorted. Wait, what did I put anything down for Carl? Oh no, okay. Simon Bar. I can try Simon Bar. Let me just check these 3 that I've just found from here though. 1st of July. Brain.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15.
So this has got to be Eve then, because Eve was the one that ended up having sex with Carl. So this has to be Eve in the blue top. This has to be Eve then. Okay. Is this just after? Yeah, this is just after. Okay.
No, I was 15. Carl was older. 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. Stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
Oops. He got tired of us. I mean, I had another video where she was talking about the fact that she and her sister were dating him at the same time, because obviously they were identical twins and nobody knew. So I can put Hannah down as well. Is this just after that? Yeah, this is just after that.
Family. So Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
Why mention family again? I want to go further back. I want to see more to do with... Oh, there's a lot for Hannah. 26. Okay. Right, I'll come back to that one. Let's check out the one you mentioned, Matt. Simon Bar. Oh, we've got a new one. Tar very much, dear. 3rd of July.
No. I told her it was one of my boyfriends. Someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy, but I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
Odd one. Not quite sure what to put there. I'm assuming this is Eve. Yeah, well, it's kind of weird, Matt, because both of them, from what I can see in the footage, they both mentioned that they were trying to get pregnant. So Hannah gets pregnant first. Eve finds out and Eve gets jealous. So Eve tries to get pregnant with literally anything that moves. But she doesn't get she doesn't end up getting pregnant. She ends up getting an STD instead. Smart girl. And then that made her infertile. And then Hannah had a miscarriage, and then that made her infertile too. But yeah, it's really hard to pinpoint the difference between who's who in each scenario, because part of me thinks that when Hannah well, yeah, maybe, because what did she Have you watched the entire other video already? And because you're just spilling out information that I'm trying to remember from when I actually did it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that would make sense because there was a clip. I think she was in the same shirt, so it would have been the same day. And she's talking about, what does she say? I don't know whether you were there at that point, but she says something like Simon's fucking magic sperm or some shit like that. But there was a scene from my other stream where she was just like, I thought I was infertile, but apparently that wasn't the case. So maybe, yeah. Maybe he was going out with both of them, but the only thing is, does that mean they both killed each other or not killed each other? So it's either the case of both of them found out and they wanted to kill Simon because he was cheating on both of them, but then he was also cheating on both of them with somebody else, or whether either Hannah's killed Simon and wants Eve to go down for it, or Eve's killed Simon and wants Hannah to go down for it. It's just, I don't know. There's just too much. Okay, let's check out this new Hannah clip.
My name is Hannah. Hannah. It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Wow, okay. Sorry, that name's exactly the same as somebody I know. So that made me jump a little bit. So her in the blue jacket is definitely Hannah. I say definitely Hannah. It could be Eve just pretending to be Hannah. I don't know at this point, and I'm losing my mind. I think I checked out all the ones for Eve, didn't I? There was only 16 for Eve. Eve missing? I'm just going to try anything at this point. I've already seen that one, Matt. There was only one with it in. At least they aren't triplets. Jesus Christ, Joe, if they were triplets, I think I might lose my mind. Hey, no friggin'... Oh, don't do that. Jesus Christ. Don't start adding friggin' stuff like that, because I'm just going to take I've already taken everything out of proportion. I've got like 4 possible things this could be anyway. Well, that's one of my theories, Matt, that they're both pretending to be the same person, but who would accomplish anything from that? Who would stand the most to gain if he died? That's the thing. It's hard to know. Unless because Eve was the only one that could get pregnant and Hannah wanted Eve's child, you know, Hannah wanted Eve's baby because she wanted kids. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Do we know their past? The only thing we know is that, well, I figured out from the last stream is that when they were born, Eve had the cord wrapped around her neck, so they weren't sure if they, how did they grow up? Eve grew up with the midwife, Florence, until, I don't know when the point was, but she ends up meeting Hannah, and then there's lots of clips where she talks about living in the attic of their house. So I don't quite know what happened there. I've got another one for past, so let's quickly watch this one. Well, Hannah's mum, or rather their mum, wasn't told that she had another baby because Florence didn't say anything about it. Well, there was a clip where they were talking about the fact that they did everything together, and if one of them got injured, the other one had to have the same kind of injury. It was really freaking weird. And obviously, yeah, they did swap places a lot. So let's quickly watch this clip.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
I might search glass in a minute. When you, with your other quote where you put share, I thought maybe share might be something we can look into. So let's have a look at these three that I found.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Oh yeah, it's a really good game. I like it. There's a lot of twists and turns and stuff, but I mean, for me, it gets quite overwhelming. But because I think there's, I don't know whether you mentioned this in my last stream, Joe, about whether there's lots of people have got lots of different like outcomes as to what they think happens in the story. So. Let's check out these ones. So these ones are for the 3rd of July. Joe says apparently the timestamps are really important, Matt, about obviously, you know, the days and when they actually occur and stuff. So, because we don't have any of the clips that the detectives asking the questions, it's just their responses. That's all we get.
When beautiful people died, it always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him.
What?
That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
I feel like this person's Eve, because Eve was all like into this weird kind of We are together forever stuff. Diaries! Yes, I'll try diaries. I'll try diaries. Oh, Jesus. Hashtag trigger words. Yep, pretty much. We've got one more footage here. This is a few moments after the one we've just seen.
It lasted about 6 months. I tried to carry on, but everything was different. Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him. We didn't share him like the others. The rules had changed. Me living in the attic had become weird in a way it hadn't been before.
Ooh. Let me rephrase that. So this has to be Eve. Unless it's Hannah pretending to be Eve. Oh, just... Okay, let's not overthink anything in this silly game. Yeah. Yeah. That one we should add to session. That one's quite important. Oh, look, 3 new clips with the word before in. Let's have a go. 18th of June.
He has a wallet, a huge, silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. He sets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before when he comes in, if he's in the house.
No wallet. Okay, this is the 25th of June. I'm still thinking this is probably
when I was at school.
Hannah.
I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything, though. I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
Part-time job.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
"12 entries. Limited to only 5 at a time." Ugh.
When you've been married for 10 years, stuff accumulates. We could argue about anything. And he's so nice. That doesn't help. He tries to smooth things over, and that just makes it worse. We're both passive aggressive, so we never normally argue directly about anything.
I have a feeling that from the footage that I think is of Eve is not a passive aggressive person, because obviously, you know, with the things that we found so far about her kind of just being on the sidelines and then Hannah wanting Simon to herself, I imagine she's not a passive aggressive person, not really. But what do I know? Next clip.
I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the Glaciers. I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room, and they decided we should get married.
Oh God. Typing too fast for my own fingers to keep up with. Together.
Not drugs. I mean, he drinks, but never very much. He goes to the pub and has one or two. Sometimes we go together. He drinks wine with food, but no, he doesn't have any kind of drinking problem.
No drinking problem. Crap. Oh crap. Okay, next footage.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
Honeymoon. Right, this should be Eve.
1984. Was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring, and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
So wait, they found their parents. Oh wait, no, she'd been away for a bit. She was away with Simon, and when she went up, yeah, I remember in my last stream, she went when one of them went up to the house. They'd been dead together for quite a while, and no one had noticed, and it was a hot day. Clearly, it was a hot day when they found their parents. Here's another one.
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence?
Rehearsed?
Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
Rehearsed? Now, I haven't seen her in this top a lot. The last time I remember seeing this top quite clearly is when I put in twins in the search bar, and her response to that was, twins? Are you crazy? And I'm like, you are twins? Excuse me? So this is kind of the 2nd of July is kind of a weird day. Rehearsed is a good word, though. Let's try that. No, it's just that one. Okay. Gosh. Nope. Here's a couple more for Birdie.
His body didn't reveal. His throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. There's these thick glasses. It doesn't know his face.
Okay, 3rd of July.
Can you imagine? I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was prettier. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
Ooh. See, that's a good clip. I like that clip. Do. Let's do a refresh. Oh, much better. There's an entire line there. One entire line. What? But that was a good one though. So separate. Oh, okay, just the same footage. Different. Okay, let's have a look at this one then.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I knew it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
So she didn't tell them about her trip to Glasgow until now. Okay. Yeah, the other ones I'm filling out, but that one bloody line, Joe, is gonna bother me so much. Oh my god! No! I've just put one in! Yes! Yes, 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 yes! Oh, I'm so happy. I actually found one for that bloody line. Goodness gracious. I mean, I shouldn't be too happy. I've still got the entire line to find, but... Here we go. Here's another one. Yes, I'm sorry, Matt. I'll put diaries down.
I thought about telling Hannah. I felt guilty after the kiss. But then it began to feel like this was the way it should be. Sharing, like we had before. He never mentioned her to me. There was the Simon with me and the Simon with her. It was almost like it was a different Simon.
What?
But
oh, that's not fair. I want to hear the other part of that. That was an interesting clip. So did he know? Because she just says he never mentioned me to her. Did that mean he knew? I'm gonna put the diaries one down now, down Matt. Diaries is already filled, dear. I'll try diary. Here we go. There's some for diary. Simon knew both of them when he met Eve at the bar. That's an interesting point. Right, let's check out diary.
no, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. It helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, it just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
Let's have a look at this one. So this is the 3rd of July.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs. It was an accident. I had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Oh. Florence died when Eve was 8 and she left to go and be with Hannah. That's what happened then. I don't know that map, to be fair. Did they share a diary or not? I mean, I suppose it would be a thing, but we just had the scene where it was like we wrote down our dreams in each other's diaries and compared them. So maybe they kept separate diaries and then just read each other's diaries as well. But this explains how she ended up with Hannah, though, if Florence died, but an accident. Not quite sure, but okay. Okay, is this afterwards? This is a couple minutes afterwards.
It just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things, and we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. And we would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
The 3rd of July is definitely the best day. Basically, it's got the most interesting information. Yes, I know you got it right. Good job, dude. Good job, Matt. Good job, Matt. But that's the only thing that makes sense. adding stuff in when it shouldn't be there. Excuse me. God. She's a chick behind the screen. Ah, but which one? Which chick behind the screen? Unless that's the ultimate, you know, the ultimate thing to figure out who I actually am is how you finish the game. I don't know. Oh gosh. Let's try rules then, now we know rules. We got another one here for rules.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
God, there's a couple that I want to think. I want to talk like type down now. And I've just forgotten one of them because when I looked up, the bloody moth was on the back of. On the back of my blinds, like right in front of me. I'm like, go away. I'm not quite sure what she's looking at there. Looking at photos? Yeah, that was one of them I was thinking of, Matt. Identity. No, she just mentions it in that one. Broke the rules was the other one, but that's there anyway. Broke, no. Still not getting us any closer to figuring out who did it. Not guilty. Yeah, mistaken or mistake. No. Mistake. No. What did you put? Scared. No. Let's just refresh this. Put the extra ones on the database checker. This one's a dud. Yeah. I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure where we go from here now. Simon? No, just no. The 3rd of July is a really interesting day for information, that's for sure. If you can get any new for that one. Goodness gracious, sorry. Attic, no. Although there's 12 entries, but I have to put something else. Living in the attic. Here we go. Here's another one. Here's the 3rd of July. Let's go.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed. Was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way you would pick death caps. police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
So who could have killed her parents then? Unless it was Hannah or maybe Simon? I'll try putting mushrooms in, okay? But the thing is, if she found them in the bed, how did they... What were the bodies in the basement? I don't... Oh, I don't know now. Oh, I don't know. Different parents? Mushrooms. There's 2 for mushrooms. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know whether it'd be different parents or not, but...
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You could probably check that.
See, she's talking about the bodies in the basement.
It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours.
See, she's talking about finding them dead in the basement, in bin bags. Okay, what about this one?
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Might as well get another one for just silly words now.
At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't.
So she wasn't living at home. She was living with Simon's parents. Because that would make sense of, there was a clip on my other stream last week where Eve was talking about the fact that Hannah had gone off to live with Simon's parents, but she'd gone to Hannah and they were on about moving out of the house and she'd move in with them. So... Nothing for 22 for parents, but oh, I need to find out if there's a way this game ends, or whether it's literally just I'm just uncovering information, I make my own assumptions and log off and that's it. How am I supposed to know if I can actually, is there an ending to this game or not? Because I mean, I'm having a really interesting time going through this game, but I was hoping to try and get to some kind of conclusion for you guys. You can have a look for me, Matt. You can have a look. Just see if there's an actual ending that can be, you know, that can be collected, I guess. Oh, you can get more than one sessions on there, but okay. I just like to know, because, you know, if I have to do a set amount of things, or if I need to uncover all the clips or whatever, I'm just curious, I guess. Because obviously uncovering every single clip would be the best thing, because then you'd have all of them and you would have seen everything. I might be interested in my own time to watch a video of all the clips in like chronological order, like from the first day she comes in all the way to the end. Okay, at some point when you try and leave, it asks you if you're finished, and no, and I guess so, yeah. Because I've not got to the point where it's just, I've not had that come up saying when I've logged off, it's just gone back to the main screen and says continue. Then you can answer yes or no. Yes finishes the game and no keeps going. Okay. I mean, I'll keep going for a little bit longer and see if I can find some more information, but it was going to be a short-ish stream anyway. I say short-ish stream, it's probably going to be around 2 hours again anyway, but I just wanted to obviously try and get to a conclusion if I could. If I can try and get all of the last day clips, that would be nice, because I would like to get an ending to this game, an ending that makes sense to me. I think chat will pop up, you can decide if you don't know then. Leave that down there. Okay. But I definitely would be interested in seeing all the clips in order, because that would help me put things into perspective a bit better, because obviously I'm looking at them in such a randomized order. You know, one's from when she first goes in about, you know, to tell him that he's missing, and then one's right at the end where they're, you know, saying, oh, we think you did, and she's just like, you have no proof, blah, 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 blah. I'm not guilty. Death, funeral. Oh yeah, I've not tried something like, I think I've tried death already. Yeah, I've already tried death. Let's try funeral though. Yeah, because you must have had a funeral for the parents. So let's try the funeral. Here we go.
Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't lived in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out.
Oh dear.
And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So...
God. Okay.
Yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house. Hannah served up sandwiches and I stayed out of sight.
I do think the 3rd of July is the day with the most interesting information, definitely. I know I've said that like 4 times now, but definitely. Can't spell to save my life. I'm adding word. Oh gosh, stop it. No, still nothing for hidden. Okay, what have we established? Let's go through what I've established so far. So Hannah and Eve's mom goes into labour. Eve's got the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. So the midwife, Florence, who was the one helping her give birth to the children at the time, was unsure of whether she'd actually live. So rather than informing her she had twins, she didn't say anything and she took Eve to one side and just delivered Hannah. When it turned out that Eve wasn't dead and was still alive, Florence took Eve in as her own until she was 8 years old, when Florence ended up falling down the stairs and dying. But by this point, Eve had already seen Hannah living across the road, who was obviously looked the same as her, was like a mirror image of her, so obviously she was interested in wanting to meet her anyway. So after she finds out about Florence, the midwife, dying, she reads a diary and realizes it's not her actual mom and finds out what happens. So she goes across the street to Hannah and they end up becoming friends and somehow making this weird pact about that she was going to live in the attic and that they could pretend to live the same lives, and they had to live by a set of really strict rules, share a diary so they knew what was happening and everything, and that's how they lived their life. As they grew up and became teenagers, they started going out with guys, but they had to share the same guy, so sometimes they would obviously have to go on dates with them. But that changed when they met Simon. Hannah wanted to keep Simon to herself, and Eve didn't quite like that was a thing by the sounds of it. So I'm not quite sure. There's kind of a bit of a weird gap as to whether Hannah broke up with Simon or whether they went on like a break, and then during that time Simon met Eve and realised it wasn't Hannah, it was Eve, especially when he got her pregnant, I imagine. So he was either, so he kept dating them both together, and at some point between all of that, Hannah and Eve's parents get killed by food poisoning due to eating a death cap, which I imagine they probably wouldn't have done on purpose. And then it kind of, there's a big gap in between, like, you know, the married lives and stuff like that. And then on their birthday, I think it might have been Hannah had a massive argument with Simon, but then I think Eve also tells the same story, that they went to Scotland, so they might have both gone to Scotland together. I'm not quite sure what happened there. And then when they came back, we've got different scenes. We've got, because no, I still think that scene was to do with the parents when she found them in the basement in the bags, because that makes more sense. You think Eve went to Scotland, Matt? Okay. So where did Hannah go then? Because they went to one of them went to Scotland anyway, and when they came back, obviously they found Simon, and Simon was missing. But then there's also another kind of break, and they ended up, one of them ended up finding Simon. The alibi. Eve went to Scotland and it's the alibi for Hannah, not what? It's the alibi for Hannah and not Eve, or for both? And Hannah found the body. I don't know whether Hannah found the body or whether Eve found the body, because it's hard to, depending on what scene I'm looking at, it's hard to distinguish whether you're actually in the scene with Hannah or Eve. I'm 100% sure, the more footage I've seen of the 3rd of July, that is Eve. Eve is the one in the 3rd of July having all the questions. But as for the starting ones, it's hard to tell who's who. I'm just trying to think if I've got a clear enough picture that I can say what actually happened, because I still don't know who killed him. Here we go. Here's another footage. Now this day, the 2nd of July, there's not a lot for it, and I don't know whether it's Hannah or Eve, because this person seems to be really erratic.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. We've spoken with the hospital.
She's trying to prove that she was there. But if we're going by your theory, Matt, that Hannah was infertile and she had it with Eve, that would make this person, well, not necessarily. I think I've tried hospital already. I'll double check, but because obviously if Eve is letting Hannah use her alibi, oh god, this is getting out of hand. For some reason, I think this might be Hannah. I'm not quite sure. It's hard to tell who it is. I'll try hospital. Oh no, I've got another one for hospital here that I missed. Okay.
Ask the hospital.
Wow, okay. Hashtag brutal. No, nothing for killer. Kill. Here's another one I didn't find.
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him?
Why would anyone who knew him want to kill him? I don't know, maybe Hannah was sick and tired of the fact that Eve ended up getting pregnant and she didn't, and she was taking her Simon from her. Oh, I don't know. I think I've already tried miscarriage, Matt. I'll try again, but I'm pretty sure I wrote that down last time. Yeah, I've seen all the clips for that. We've seen all the clips for that. Kill, killer. The song? What about the song? The elder sister met him first. Yep. But ended up liking the younger. But if we're going from that, well, I don't know who was born first. That's the thing. Hannah killed him because he liked Eve more. Eve went to Scotland. Can we prove Hannah killed the parents with the death caps to prove she's a killer? I don't know what footage we could get to prove that she was the one that killed her parents, though. But why would she want to kill her parents? Because in the song, the eldest... If we're going that the song actually has meaning, the eldest one didn't like the youngest one, so the eldest one drowned the youngest one, and then the body floated onto the boat, or towards where Simon was. But... But are they both... I think I've already put hate in the attack. The blonde hair in the attic. They were dolls. She seems to think it was a doll. We know Eve lives in the attic. Eve lived in the attic, yeah. And she seems to think that the blonde hair came off one of the dolls in the attic. But what if that's bullshit? What, are you saying it's the other way round? Or she didn't live in the attic at all? Why would Simon be in the attic? Wig? There's far too much stuff happening. Blonde hair, but none of them's blonde. Right, we've got some stuff to do with a wig. Hold on a sec, guys. Hold the phone.
A wig? You mean... But what type of wig? No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
Wow, she's quite...
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
Have you looked at the cat flap? What? I know, that's what I've just put cat flap in.
No, they were shut. Most of the windows are really hard to open anyway. It's stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door.
Hmm.
No, no cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it.
So someone could have got through the cat flap, but she's just mentioned... Well, they could have got through... God, where do we go from here now? Why would she need a wig? Well, she's asking them why she thinks she'd need a wig. There's no other woman. Or other person. I'm pretty sure there was... One of these might be... What? Try to get... Right, okay, I've seen these ones. These ones are put... This is... Eve tried to get pregnant just because Hannah made a plan to... I'll let you watch these, Matt. So, just in case you've forgotten.
the parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow, so we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognised me, I started wearing a wig.
So she snuck out the cat flap then?
Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. But I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, in parks and alleyways.
Silly woman.
I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I had it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Such an odd life we lead. And so if she was getting skinnier, she could have snuck out the cat flap quite easily. So
this was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing and she tore it off. Eventually we grew tired of fighting and I left.
So that would explain the bruise that she has, that she hit her, but she got tired of fighting and left. I only put guessing it was on her birthday, but there's no proof to say it is on her birthday. But obviously on her birthday she has the argument with Simon, or rather one of them has an argument with Simon, which I'm guessing could be Hannah, because it says after the argument she has with him on her birthday, he storms out and leaves her, I think. Although she does say that she leaves as well, but I don't know whether she... Oh, I don't know. It's really, really friggin' hard to kind of differentiate what's actually going on. Try it. Here we go. We've got a new one here.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
That doesn't help us out that much, to be fair. Drive. Okay, here's another one for drive.
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that.
Sassy! One extra for birthday present?
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
Didn't like the present? Why would you not like the present? Although after she'd given him the present, they started having the argument afterwards, so... I think I put present in, that's how I got the orange one. Oh no, there's another couple here.
About 8 years back, it was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
Doesn't want to drink coffee because of the baby.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me.
What?
They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Wow, okay. Possibly, yeah, I think so. Oh! Is that it? Chit chat? What the? So how's it going down there? You done? Hold on 1 second. Chit chat. Here's 2 more for the mirror. We'll be with you in a minute, Mr. Chit Chat. We want some more info.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. Haven't looked at it since.
See, my brain's thinking we should try glass as well. But I think there is more to find out. Yeah, there's always more.
Silver leaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
What? I'm looking in chat. What do you want? What do you want, Matt? Calling me Missy? What do you want? Oh, you on about glass? Yeah, well, fine. Dude, okay. Dude, look, it's here. It wasn't 9 years ago.
Yeah. On his clothes, that would make sense. He made it. By hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror. And he gave it to me. No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
There's still loads to find. It's just insane. Like, I'm assuming that one... Let's go back to present. I'm just going to quickly watch it again and see if that comes up as the last one.
Is that she'd waited for him to come back.
Weep.
Scare him off.
Look, that's not even the last one. Like, there's another one that's right at the end. that's going to bother me because I'd like to know the last 3 at least. Whoa. Discovered. Yeah, let's try throat first, actually. Here we go. What's this? This won't be in the right spot. It's too far back.
In his throat. How?
See, that one's all the way up here. The yellow tells me where we are, so we're too far up at the moment. Shard. Mirror shard. Nope, nothing for that. Evidence. No. I'm just trying to think. She's got to obviously be in shock. I don't know. She's going to need to clean it up. Here we go. What's this?
Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Okay, that's not important. This is the one that we need.
She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her.
That's another one. Blood.
And she was in shock.
Okay. We're getting there slowly, folks. See, that one's this one here. So let's try blood. Oh, we've only got 2 from near the start, which is going to annoy me.
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
God, I need to try and think of... I want to find out these 3 down here. It's going to bother me so much. All day. Here's another one. Play the confession again. Okay.
Dust every week. Maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. You know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
Okay, we'll watch the present, the confession one again.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present, another mirror, just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Add that to the session in case we want to look at it again. Nope, just brings up that one. Body we already found, yeah. Trace? No.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. But she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Always odd. Hide. Oh.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way.
Oh, okay. Not the one I was
Cut
after
it with
then.
a bread knife, something like that.
Oh my god.
My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
And that's where she found all the fairy tale books. Fair enough. Not the type of hide I was after, but c'est la vie. Reflection. Here we go. We got another 2.
Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange.
Oh, this is the first
At the
time.
same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back, and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements. I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. we would become one. One girl. The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place.
Ooh. Still not the ones I'm after, but I think unless we can come up with something else, it might be. We might have to end it here, folks. Dispose? Yeah, maybe. No, because they didn't dispose of his body. He was just left in the lounge. Ran away? No. You found a load of new clips. I did find a load of new clips. Unless you're saying that I've just missed a load of new clips. The fact that I found the ending, though, like a conclusion, is quite important. Clean up. Oh. No. No. Alibi. Here we go. This might be useful.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently.
This sounds good.
The baby was what mattered.
Oh, okay. Take that back.
We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror.
Oh, okay. No, it is.
They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Ooh. Which one was that one? That's the next one. Watch. No, okay. No. I've just tried watch, nothing came up. Cellar, give it a go. No. I don't know whether she might have called it the basement, actually. No. Baby. 17 for the baby. She had the baby, yeah. There's 17 for the baby, though, but we don't know which one's the... Are you playing as Eve's daughter? That's what I was thinking at the start, Matt, when they were talking about a child and stuff. Yeah, I that's what I think. Yeah, because it's the game's being played in our time, which would make sense. So I think because it's getting late and unfortunately I am having to get up early tomorrow, I'm gonna leave it there. Do I end it or do I say no? You done? I think I'm gonna say yes. But it's not gonna be over. I think I'm gonna keep kind of probably having to look into it separately, maybe watch some videos on YouTube to see if I can find the missing footage and stuff, but this has been a really, really good game. Good. Yeah, so you think you understand why your mother did what she did? Yeah, but who's my mama? Do you think I understood? What if I put no? That's understandable, Sarah. Yeah, Eve is my mama then, Sarah. You can always come back again. I'll be outside. Log off and meet me over the road. Hangs up. That's amazing. That's awesome. Oh, I like that. That's really good. I'm not gonna get rid of it then, I think. I think I'm gonna keep it for now. Oh god. And here's the credits. That was really, really good. That surprised me. No, that was really good. Really clever idea brought into effect there by a small group of people. No. I'm really happy I played that. It was really nice to have something a bit different. New type of way of playing a game. Really interesting. No, I'm glad I played it, definitely. GG indeed. Well played. Thank you so much for your help, Joe, for this one and the one before. And obviously thank you, Matt, for coming and helping me out this time round too with all the options. Because I know, Joe, you couldn't tell me much because you've already played it and you knew what was happening. But I both appreciate your help, because I could have been sitting here much longer trying to figure out stuff. So they made a second one. Might have to check that one out then, because this one was good fun. Yeah, I really, really liked this game. I'm really glad I played it. I'll just wait for the super duper long credits to finish, and then I'll say goodbye to everybody. So how many people? Jeez. These must be all the people that kind of offered them like support and things. Wow. No, it's just it was a really simple styled idea with just the footage and stuff, but they were able to make it, you know, just really good. It's just different. Sam thanks his wonderful family, and thank you for listening. If you're stuck, you could always try admin random or unlock the command. Ooh. Or unlock command. Intriguing. Maybe I'll have to look at that in my own time. But thanks again, everybody, for joining me. Thank you again, Joe and Matt, for all your help. And I will see you guys again. It is currently down on my schedule as Tuesday. I'll leave it as that for now, but I'll update it as soon as possible if it's going to change or not. It has been fun, Joe. It's been fun. I'm glad you came along glad you guys came along for the ride. It's been fun. But I'm definitely going to have to look out for the second one. I think that would be a cool idea. And I can delete this giant post-it note that's on my desktop of when I was writing stuff down. Jeez, it was just such a big one. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. If not, it will be Saturday. I do need to change my schedule. Saturday will be the next stream if I don't stream tomorrow. So Take care, everybody, and I'll catch you all soon. Bye.